In this episode, how many reps you should be doing in your workouts.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome everyone to episode 226 of the Daily Mother Swole. Repping it hard. Those of you that have gotten your Swolenormous shirts, make sure you, after like this broadcast, you post a picture of you wearing your Swolenormous shirt. That would be a great way for you to enter the Swolga competition. Now I want to make this clear to clarify a couple things. Thank you for joining me for today's episode. If you have not seen that, we are doing a Swolga yoga competition. Swolga, swole jacked yoga. Of course, you don't have to look like me. You don't have to be hugely muscular to participate. Just got to follow the instructions on the post that's on my Facebook page. And just so you know, you don't have to be a master cinematographer. You don't have to get this amazing shot. Do the best you can. It's cool. It's just something fun to do, and you have a chance to win, and it's a great thing to have some fun moving on to Christmas. That way I can give away a gift to all of you, the gift of fitness, and hopefully it will get some of you to try doing some yoga and, just get more involved. So yeah, well, you can order a Swolenormous shirt. You can order a Swolenormous shirt pinned to the top of my page. The Swolenormous, I believe the campaign is still going. I think it's still going for another day or two, so check that out. You need to order a Swolenormous shirt before the campaign ends. And then, I don't know if anyone knows that the campaign's going to end and they're going to have to start another one. So if you want to get one on this round of t-shirts, jump on it now. Episode 226 today is how many reps you should do using my EVT protocol, my own created EVT protocol, to determine how many reps you should do. So thank you for joining me live on Facebook. Thank you for watching on YouTube and listening on SoundCloud and iTunes. Today is Spotlight Sunday, which is going to be a mind-blowing, awesome video. And I know I don't have to tell you to share this video because you're already doing that like crazy with the ones I'm making, but this one is going to be sick, legit, and most likely too legit to quit. As per MC Hammer, it's going to be a great fucking video. I love it. And I'm always proud of the shit that I put out, but this one's going to be really out of control. I think this is going to be the video. I always say that, but this is great. I love it. This video, let me just tell you, this video that I'm putting out today, I wasn't going to work out yesterday. And then I was editing this video, and I was watching it, and I exported it, and I watched it, and I'm like, shit, I got to go to the gym. It made me want to go work out. It motivated me. I was going to take a nap, and I went and worked out instead because I was watching my own shit. So that was pretty funny. So let's get into the show. How many reps should you do? And by the way, that spotlight video is coming up after the Daily Swole. I'll be posting that. So how many reps should you do? How many reps should you do? Should you do high reps? Should you do low reps? Should you do moderate reps? How much weight should you use? EVT protocol. First off, I want you to think about your goals. And talking about goals, in Swolenormous Premium, my private Facebook group, we have been talking, and remember tomorrow, those of you that are members, tomorrow, the accountability meeting, this is going over goals. We're going to be breaking down goals, how to adjust your goals, and so forth. So tomorrow is an important accountability meeting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the private group, which, I'm not trying to plug too much shit right now, but which you can access by clicking the sign up button on Facebook or Swolenormous.com if you want to take your fitness to the next level. That's my exclusive membership only group. But we've been talking about goal setting. I always talk about goal setting here. I always talk about goal setting in general because it's important to have a destination. I know we talk about life is the journey, not the destination. I'm like, yeah, well, because you have to go on that journey. You're living life. I mean, the journey is the journey. But you're looking to get to an end point. You want to have a goal. That can change. The goal will change. The goal will develop. But do you want mass? Do you want endurance? Do you want just general health? So you have to have that goal. You have to figure that out. That's up to you. That's not something that I can determine for you. I can help you, hammer that out depending on what you say you want, but you have to figure out what you actually want out of fitness, and that's important. But the EVT, E stands for experience. What's your experience level? Are you a beginner? Are you a novice? Are you an intermediate? You kind of like, all right, I have some experience. Or are you more advanced? Are you an expert? Are you something higher level? So you have to determine where you are now so you can figure out where you're going, because you have to figure out how to get there. If you don't know where you're starting from, if you're a beginner and you're trying something more advanced, you can get hurt. and you can fall out of it because it's too challenging. You feel like you fail too much. You jump into too much of a complicated workout routine. You just jump right into like an advanced CrossFit class and you get your ass fucking handed to you. There are things that really will set you back, and you want to be consistent. One of the big things about getting involved with the gym, and what we talked about yesterday or the day before, talking about how fitness comes first. Fitness is more important than nutrition because you need to get ensconced in the lifestyle before you want to intrinsically want to make more change. You want to do better things. I want to eat healthier. I want to from within. That is going to be the biggest kicker, getting involved with fitness and your physical activity, making that a habit first. With your experience level, going to something more complicated, just jumping into the deep end, yeah, it's important just to get started, but if you go too complicated too quickly, right off the bat, you're going to, chances are, fall out of it. So your experience makes a big difference. The volume, your experience is going to determine the volume, how many sets, how many reps you're doing. Are you doing 6 sets per exercise? Well, not if you're a beginner. You should only be doing maybe 1 or 2. And you got to be careful with how much failure you're doing as a beginner because that neural overload can be very damaging. You have things to play with. As a beginner, you have to go easier, intermediate, and more advanced. This is not to say that someone who's advanced, has more experience, cannot do 1 or 2 sets per exercise. That's different. Maybe you're doing a deloading week where you're taking a little bit of a lesser intensity. You're backing things off a little bit. Maybe you are just doing more exercises and you're going really hard for 1 or 2 sets because you're doing more different exercises. But as a beginner, you're doing chest for the first time ever, do chest 1 or 2 sets, not to failure. Go nice and easy, go through the motion, learn. Because the sun's going to rise tomorrow. You're going to live tomorrow. You're building a foundation. You're building a foundation. You build a foundation with friendship. You build a foundation with relationships. You have to build a foundation. You have to start somewhere, and it's like layers of paint and sediment. You have to build small increments. Yeah? Got it? So you have to build level after level. Your volume is going to determine that. So if you're more advanced, you might need more volume. And this is because you want to increase the stimulus on the muscle. If your body is used to doing 1 or 2 sets, and let's say you go to the gym, you just do 6 total sets, after a while, your body is going to see progress and then plateau. Your body's going to get used to it, and it's going to start neutralizing and not seeing any change because your body needs a stimulus. Your body needs to be stimulated. Your body needs to see or experience something that it has to adapt to. Your body needs to be shocked. If your body is not shocked or your body is not getting an overload of various types, there's different ways to determine and describe an overload, but if your body is not getting an overload, it's not going to need to adapt. So you have to be getting excess weight, more repetitions, shorter rest periods. You have to increase the intensity. You have to increase the overload and change the overload. You have to go harder, and then there are certain periods after a couple months or a few weeks where you have to go lighter to give your body some recovery and some neural reprieve. So there's going to be less volume and more frequency. There's different strategies. There's different strategies for that. Form and contraction is everything. Yeah, strength. There's different ways of doing this. There are many different ways to get about this. There are many different ways to break through plateaus, to get through these little sticking points. There's different ways to get to your goal. And that comes down to program design. That comes down to the next point. Here's my next point. EVT, experience and volume. The T stands for time. And time I'm not talking about patience. I'm talking about what available time you have. There's many situations. And this all goes back to how many reps you should do. This goes back to all types of planning. How much time you have to spend in the gym. How much time you have to spend in the gym. I don't think that people use logic enough when they set their goals. And I'm not talking about setting lofty goals. Oh, I want to lose 100 pounds. Okay. I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay. I want to look a certain way. Okay. But do you actually physically have the time? Are you actually going to put in the time? Do you have the time in your schedule to go to the gym as much as necessary? There are certain facts. If you want to look like me, you cannot work out twice a week. And I'm not saying that to brag, but you cannot. Unless you're a freak of nature, you're not going to look like me. You're not going to develop that kind of muscle mass working out twice a week. Sorry, not sorry. You're not. You're not going to get the way that I looked 3 times a week, 4 times a week, chances are. 5 or 6 times a week, that's what I used to train. I used to do times when I did 7 days a week. I'm not saying that's good, but 5 or 6 days a week easily working out. 5 or 6 days a week, that's a lot of fitness. And we're talking about lifting heavy, training like an animal, 5 or 6 days a week for years. For years. And there are periods where I took time off and breaks, and of course I have added yoga. But I'm training 5 or 6 days a week regularly. It's not that often where I take a complete day off. Now I do that more than I used to, taking a day off. But I'm usually doing some kind of stretching or foam rolling or recovery. But I'm talking about activity. I went through years of literally not just, okay, I'm just going to stretch today. No, where I worked out 5 or 6 days a week, like lifting weights. That's why bodybuilders, you're not going to be on the Mr. Olympia stage. You're not going to look like a bodybuilder. I look like a bodybuilder. I'm big, but I'm natural. So I'm not like massive, like ripping out veins. I'm not taking juice. I'm not saucing. I'm not doing growth hormone or anything like that right now. So there are people that will look a lot bigger than me. If I was taking that stuff, I'd be a lot bigger. But you can see a lot of change, but you have to put the time into it. So you break up body parts. The reason why you're working out 5 or 6 days a week is not because you're doing total body 5 or 6 days a week. You're doing chest and back on one day, or chest and triceps, or chest and biceps. And the next day you're doing legs, and the next day you're doing back, and then you're taking a day off, and then you're doing shoulders, and the next day you're doing biceps and triceps. You're segmenting body parts because then you have, in that workout, you have more time to focus on less body parts. So each body part and each region of the body gets more exposure, more volume. If you have an hour to do the entire body, you're not going to have the time to do all the sets for every body part. If you focus on one body part at a time, or 1 or 2 in one workout, you can hammer and get more done. But that's for more intermediate and advanced training. So that's my point. How many reps you should do is going to be coming back to mass, whether you want endurance or general health. But reps are going to correlate with how much volume you want to do. It's going to correlate with how much time you have to work out. It's going to correlate to your experience, which is going to correlate with your goals. What's your goal? What are you looking to accomplish? And then you have to figure out, you have to break down, and it's okay to go through all these things, to go through goals, experience, and volume, and then get to time and realize, but I really only have 3 days a week to work out. So I need to reevaluate my goals, reevaluate the logic of how I'm going to go through this, and then say, okay, I only have 2 days a week to work out. What can I realistically accomplish with 2 days a week? You could do total body workouts and you can see change. Believe me, you can see change because you have to put a lot of stress in the kitchen. You're going to have to focus on a lot of other things. My next question would be like, why can you only work out twice a week? You could do stuff at home. Like, you're going to have to complement that with something, with yoga, with other things. But you have to make your goals kind of backtrack. You have to reverse engineer your goals a little bit, go through the process of setting the goals, and then see, well, what can I really do? Can I really do this? Am I going to be motivated and disciplined enough to do this? How many times a week am I actually going to put into getting that done? Because you can say all these things, that's well and good. Oh, I'm going to experience, I'm going to do this weight, I'm going to have this goal, I'm going to do the X, Y, and Z, and then you go to the gym 3 times a week. Not going to happen, Not going to happen. You can't have lofty goals and put in effort less than half the time. Because literally, if you're doing 3 days or 3 days a week, that's less than 50% of the time you're putting the effort into it. So keep that in mind. How many reps you should do is going to correlate to the volume, how many reps and sets. More reps if you want more endurance, but if you want to build more muscle, you got to keep it between 6 and 12 repetitions. But understand that your experience and how much time you have will relate to how much volume and how much you're going to actually put into it. Okay? More advanced, more sets, more volume. So if you're doing, let's say, 10 reps, you're doing 3, 4, maybe 5 sets for an exercise. But then if you're more of a beginner, you want to keep it less. You want to be careful how much failure you're doing as a beginner. And failure is a big thing. I always talk about going to failure, pushing yourself to that limit. That's fine. As a beginner, you have to go really, really easy. At the beginning, less is more. Create that foundation, like a friendship, like a relationship with a significant other. You got to create that foundation, and it's layers and layers and reps and reps. Consistency and persistence, discipline, and patience. It's consistency, persistence, discipline, and patience. It's all those things. It's not going to happen overnight, but you need to understand that the outcome is going to be based largely on how much time you put into it. So if you really are not putting the time into it, if you really do not have the time to put into it, you need to reevaluate your goal and come back with a more realistic response so you can be more successful and nail it. Remember, today is Spotlight Sunday. Spotlight video is going up today. When I post it, I'll be snapping about it. I'll be putting in my Instagram stories, but make sure you share this one. Remember, the algorithms, all the good stuff. I appreciate the support. If you want to support the Daily Swole, you want to support Papa Swole, you can get a t-shirt still at the link at the top of the page. It's pinned to the post on Teespring. You can also share, comment, like it, but share. Share is the highest form of flattery. I really appreciate if you want to rep the Swole. Share this broadcast and share the Spotlight video that's going to be epic. The Spotlight video is called This Is Your Year. Okay? The Spotlight video is called This Is Your Year. And this is going to ramp up like a motherfucker up until New Year's. This is your year, and I'm going to be releasing that today. You're going to love it. So thank you for joining me for episode 226 of The Daily Mother Swole. Get your reps on today. It's Sunday. Enjoy the day. Get your work out. Get your work in. And I will see everyone tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Thank you for joining me on Facebook Live, watching on YouTube, listening on SoundCloud and iTunes. Remember, tomorrow I'll be seeing Swolenormous premium members at 1 o'clock for the accountability meeting. Major goal setting meeting tomorrow at 1 p.m. after the Daily Swole. We'll be touching upon goals in the Daily Swole. But if you have not signed up yet for Swolenormous Premium, seriously, today, sign up. Click the sign up button at the top of this Facebook page. Go to my website, Swolenormous.com, and sign up. It's $4.99 a month. Program design, nutritional guidance, accountability, community. This is the time, and especially this is the time now, because I ain't fucking waiting. Papa Swolenormous does not wait until January 1st. We're doing this now. So tomorrow we're spending a lot of time breaking down individuals. All the members need to be writing this down. This is the homework for the week, figuring out your goals, breaking down your goals, and making sure that those goals are accurate, accessible, successful, attainable, everything tomorrow. Making sure that your goals are on point with what you can do, just like we're talking about today and what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. So that's going to be at 1 p.m., but that's only for private members. So if you want into the group, you could get the membership, click the sign up button, or go to my website, Swolenormous.com. Thanks for joining me. See everyone tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Deuces.